You ever have one of those moments where your body throws you a curveball? Like you're hauling a bag of dog food from the car, and halfway to the door, your arms start whispering, you sure about this? Or maybe you're chasing your grandkid across the yard, and your legs decide they're on a coffee break. It hits you out of nowhere, doesn't it? I had a friend, Mike, a 62-year-old guy from Tennessee, who loved tinkering with his old Chevy in the garage. One day, he went to lift a tire and felt this wobble in his shoulders. For a second, he stood there, staring at that tire like it had betrayed him. Is this what getting older's gonna be? He wondered. I bet you've had a moment like that too, where you catch yourself questioning if this is just how it's supposed to go. Mike's not the only one. If you're over 50, you've probably felt it, those little signs that creep in. Maybe it's that extra pause you take before standing up from your recliner, or the way your knees groan when you kneel to pull weeds. It's subtle, like a guest who overstays their welcome at a barbecue. I was talking to a woman named Diane, a 59-year-old from Arizona who used to spend her evenings walking her golden retriever along a desert trail. She loved those sunsets, the way the sky turned pink and gold. But a couple of years back, she noticed her legs felt heavy, like they were dragging through sand. I thought maybe I was just tired, she told me. But when it kept happening, she started to worry. Is this my life now? She asked herself. Ever been there? Where something you love feels like it's slipping away, and you're not sure what to do about it? Here's the thing I've learned from folks like Mike and Diane, and from poking around into what the experts say. Those moments aren't just aging. There's something specific going on, something you can actually get a handle on. See, after we hit our 50s, our bodies start to shift in ways that aren't always front and center. It's not just the laugh lines or needing a bigger font on your phone. Researchers at places like the University of Michigan have been studying this for years, and they've found that as we age, our bodies lose a bit of their knack for keeping up with everyday demands. It's like a pickup truck that's still solid, but doesn't quite roar up a hill like it used to. The good news? You can tune that truck up. You can bring back the horsepower you thought was fading. Let me tell you about someone who did just that. Gloria, a 57-year-old librarian from Maine. Gloria was all about her community book club, curling up with a good mystery novel and a cup of chamomile tea. But one winter, she noticed it was harder to carry a stack of hardbacks from the shelves to the checkout desk. Her arms would ache, and she'd have to stop halfway. At first, she chalked it up to a long day, maybe too many hours shelving donations. But it didn't go away, and it rattled her. She pictured herself slowing down, maybe even giving up the job she loved. That wasn't the future she wanted, not by a long shot. What Gloria didn't know then was that she had options. There's a way to push back against those changes, to rebuild what's been slipping. And it's not about signing up for a marathon or buying some gadget you see on late-night TV. It's about choices that fit into your life, like slipping on your favorite pair of jeans. Picture this. You're lifting a bag of groceries without that twinge in your elbow, or walking up the stairs to your bedroom without holding the railing, like it's a lifeline. That's not pie-in-the-sky stuff. It's real, grounded in what science knows and what regular folks have done. Let's go back to Mike for a second, the guy with the Chevy. After that day with the tire, he started noticing other things. He'd get winded pushing a cart at the hardware store, or his back would complain after an hour in the garage. He wasn't ready to hang up his wrench, though. He started asking questions, talked to his buddy who coached Little League, even called his sister who'd gotten into Pilates at 60. What he heard surprised him. That feeling of weakness wasn't just getting old. It was tied to something he could actually work on, something that didn't require turning his life upside down. Now, imagine you're in one of those moments that makes you feel alive. Maybe it's firing up the grill for a family cookout, The smell of burgers sizzling as your kids laugh in the yard. Or maybe it's tending your vegetable patch, pulling carrots from the dirt with your own hands. Those are the moments that matter, the ones that remind you who you are. But when your body starts to lag, when flipping those burgers or kneeling in the garden feels harder than it should, it's easy to think those days are fading. I'm here to tell you they don't have to. There's a way to hold on to them, to feel stronger in your own skin. Let's dig into why this happens, not to dwell on it, but to get a clear picture. Scientists have figured out that as we get older, our bodies don't rebuild certain parts of themselves as fast as they used to. It's like a house that's still sturdy, but needs a fresh coat of paint or a new hinge on the door. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic say that after 50, we lose a small slice of our body's ability to handle physical tasks each year. It's not a big deal at first. Think of it like a slow leak in a bike tire. But over time, it adds up. That's why carrying a suitcase to the attic or even getting up from a picnic blanket can start to feel like a project. Here's where it gets exciting though. Your body's built to adapt. It's not a gadget that breaks and gets tossed out. It's more like a river. It can carve new paths if you give it a chance. Take Ray, a 61-year-old postal worker from Illinois. Ray spent his days sorting mail, walking routes, lifting bins. He was proud of his job, the kind of guy who'd wave to everyone on his block. But one summer, he noticed his legs felt shaky after climbing a few porch steps. He thought maybe it was the heat, but it kept happening. He started worrying he'd have to retire early, sit on the sidelines while his friends played cards or fished at the quarry. That wasn't Ray's style. What Ray found out was that he wasn't stuck. He didn't need to accept that shaky feeling as his new normal. There are ways to rebuild, to bring back the strength you need for the life you love. And it's not about big, flashy changes. It's about stuff you can do while you're waiting for your toast to pop or watching your favorite cop show. Think about it. What if you could feel steadier when you mow the lawn? Or carry your granddaughter on your shoulders without that ache in your back? That's what's possible when you know what's going on and take action. Let's bring this into focus, because I know you're wondering what's at the heart of it. What Mike, Diane, Gloria, and Ray all learned was tied to one thing: their muscles. That's what's behind those moments when you feel weaker than you expect. Muscle strength isn't about flexing in a mirror or bench pressing a car. It's about the power in your legs to climb a hill, the grip in your hands to open a jar of pickles, the energy to dance at your nephew's wedding. After 50, our muscles lose a bit of their spark, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because that's how time works. The incredible part, you can reignite that spark with steps so simple they'll fit into your day like they've always been there. So, let's talk about what that looks like, because this is where it gets practical. These aren't vague ideas or things you need a PhD to figure out. They're habits, backed by what science knows and what real people have done. They're for you, whether you're in a high-rise in Seattle or a farmhouse in Kansas. And they're about feeling stronger, not just for the sake of it, but for the moments that make your life yours. Start with walking. You're already doing it, around the block, to the mailbox, maybe through the park with your spouse. Here's a twist. Make it count. Take longer strides, push off with your toes, feel your legs come alive. It's not about sprinting, it's about purpose. Folks at the University of Colorado ran studies showing that 15 minutes of focused walking a day can make your calves and thighs stronger. I tried it myself, striding to my car like I was late for a movie. By the time I got there, my legs were humming. You might notice it too. Maybe it's easier to step over a curb or keep up with your dog when he spots a squirrel. Then, there's what you eat. Your muscles need fuel, and one kind stands out: protein. I'm not saying you've got to grill a ribeye every night or chug chalky shakes. It's simpler than that. Researchers at Penn State found that people over 50 who mix protein into their meals, like a couple of eggs for breakfast, a turkey sandwich for lunch, or beans in your chili, keep their muscles in better shape. Try this. Tomorrow, toss a handful of walnuts into your oatmeal. It's crunchy, it's easy, and it's like sending your arms a thank you note. You might find you're less sore after scrubbing the bathtub or tossing a football with your nephew. Another thing you can do is push against gravity. You don't need a gym, just your own body. Imagine you're in your living room, waiting for the kettle to whistle. Try this. Stand up from your chair and sit back down 5 times. Nice and slow. That's your muscles working, getting stronger with every move. The people at the National Institutes of Health say little exercises like that, done a few times a day, can make your legs and arms feel sturdier in a month. I saw it with my cousin Ed. He started doing these while his coffee brewed. Now he's carrying firewood like he's 40 again. Water's a big deal too. I know it sounds obvious, but it's a game changer. Your muscles need to stay hydrated to do their job. When you're low on water, you feel sluggish, and it hits harder after 50. Doctors at Vanderbilt say aiming for about 8 glasses a day keeps your muscles loose and ready. Keep a bottle on your kitchen counter. Take a sip every time you check the weather. Throw in a slice of cucumber if you're feeling fancy. You might notice you're not as creaky when you get up from gardening or bend to pick up a golf ball. Sleep's another piece of the puzzle. It's not just about catching Z's. It's when your body rebuilds. A study from the University of Washington showed that people over 50 who get 7 to 8 hours a night have muscles that bounce back faster. It's not about hibernating, just giving your body a chance to recharge. Try setting a nighttime routine. Maybe it's listening to a podcast or flipping through a magazine before bed. I started reading a page of a Western novel every night, and I swear I wake up ready to tackle the day. You might find you've got more pep for that morning walk or lifting boxes in the garage. Stretching's a quiet hero. It's not about twisting into a pretzel, just keeping things limber. Tight muscles get tired fast, but a little flexibility goes a long way. Researchers at Baylor say 5 minutes of stretching a day can make your legs and arms feel more alive. Try this. When you roll out of bed, stand tall and reach for the ceiling, like you're trying to grab a cloud. Then bend forward, let your hands drift toward your shins. Hold each for 15 seconds. It's like greasing a wheel. Everything moves smoother. You might find it's easier to swing a rake or step up onto a stool. And here's the one I love most. Move in ways that make you grin. Maybe it's dancing to Springsteen in your kitchen, tossing a frisbee with your neighbor, or planting daisies in your front yard. A study from the American College of Sports Medicine found that people who do things they enjoy, like biking to a coffee shop or playing catch with their kids, stick with it longer and see their strength grow. Pick something that sparks joy. Maybe it's walking to the diner for a slice of pie or kicking a soccer ball with your grandkids. Do it a couple of times this week. You might be surprised how strong you feel when you're laughing as you move. That's what Mike found. After that day with the tire, he started small, walking to his mailbox with a little extra kick, eating peanut butter on his apples, stretching while he watched baseball. A few months later, he was back in his garage, wrenching on that Chevy with the same fire he had years ago. Diane's out, walking her dog again. Those desert sunsets as bright as ever. She started squatting while she brushed her teeth and drinking water like it was her mission. Gloria's carrying books at the library without a second thought, thanks to some protein-packed lunches and chair exercises during TV commercials. And Ray? He's still delivering mail, climbing porches with a spring in his step. All because he added stretches and a good night's sleep to his routine. These aren't extraordinary people. They're like you and me. They felt that weakness sneak in, just like anyone might. But they learned they could rebuild, not with some big, impossible plan, but with steps that fit into their days. A walk here, a yogurt there, a stretch while the microwave hums. It's like planting seeds. You don't see the flowers overnight, but one day you've got a garden. And it's not about being perfect, it's about starting where you are. Let's picture you a few weeks from now. You're carrying a basket of laundry without that pinch in your shoulder. Or maybe you're dancing at a family party, keeping up with the beat like you used to. That's not a daydream. It's what happens when you give your body a little attention. Your muscles are ready to come back, like a friend who's been waiting for your call. So here's what I'm thinking. Try one thing today. Maybe it's walking to your car with a bit of swagger or scrambling an egg for lunch. It's not about flipping your whole world. It's about nudging yourself toward feeling stronger. Because you're not done, not even close. Think about Mike turning that wrench, or Diane watching that sunset with her dog. They found their strength again, and it wasn't hard. Yours is right there, waiting. Imagine it's a month from now, and you're out in your driveway, washing your car, moving easier, feeling prouder. Or maybe you're at the park, tossing a ball with your grandkid, no aches holding you back. That's what's possible. So go for it. Take that walk, sip that water, reach for the ceiling. You've got a lot of life left to live, and your body's ready to carry you through it. Now, let's keep this going, because there's more to unpack here. Those habits I mentioned, they're not just random ideas. They're rooted in how your body works, and they're flexible enough to fit whoever you are. Take walking, for instance. It's not about racking up miles or breaking a sweat. It's about making every step count. I was reading about a study from the University of Utah. They had folks over 50 walk, with intention for just 10 minutes a day, focusing on strong, steady strides. After a few weeks, those people could climb stairs faster, carry heavier loads, even balance better on uneven ground. It's like your legs remember what they're capable of when you remind them. I tried it myself one Saturday, walking to the corner store for a newspaper. Instead of my usual shuffle, I stepped out like I was leading a parade. Knees up, arms swinging. By the time I got back, I felt this buzz, like my whole body was saying, "All right, let's do this." You can try it anywhere. Your driveway, the supermarket, even pacing your living room during a commercial break. You might notice you're not huffing as much when you lug a trash can to the curb, or you're steadier when you step off a ladder after cleaning the gutters. Let's talk about protein again, because it's a bigger deal than you might think. Your muscles are like builders. They need raw materials to stay strong. After 50, they're a bit pickier about getting enough. I saw a study from the University of Florida where they tracked people who added small amounts of protein to every meal. Think a slice of ham on your breakfast toast, a scoop of cottage cheese with lunch, or a piece of salmon at dinner. Those folks had stronger grips, better balance, even less fatigue after chores. It's not about eating like a linebacker, just giving your body what it needs to keep up. Here's a simple one. Next time you're making a sandwich, toss on an extra slice of turkey or a smear of hummus. It's no extra work, but it's like slipping your muscles a secret weapon. I started doing this, added a boiled egg to my salad a few times a week. Now, when I'm hauling bags of mulch for my roses, my arms don't quit on me as fast. You might see it too. Maybe you're less achy after painting a fence or carrying a cooler to the lake. And those little resistance moves, they're gold. You don't need weights or a fancy setup, just a willingness to use what you've got. Picture this. You're in your dining room, maybe setting the table for dinner. While you're there, hold onto a chair and do a slow squat, like you're easing into a seat. Do it 5 times. That's your thighs and hips getting stronger, right there between laying out napkins. A study from the University of Alabama showed that people over 50 who did these kinds of moves, squats, standing up from chairs, even lifting a gallon of milk overhead, gained enough strength to make daily tasks easier in just a month. My friend Lisa started doing this while she waited for her tea to steep. 10 slow squats every morning. Last week, she told me she carried a box of old records up from her basement without stopping to rest. That's the kind of win I'm talking about. You can try it with anything, push against a wall while you're on a phone call, or lift a couple of soup cans while you watch the weather report. It's like sneaking in a workout without breaking your routine. Water's still on my mind, because it's one of those things we overlook. Your muscles are mostly water, and when they're low, they act like cranky toddlers, slow, stiff, grumpy. I read about a group at the University of Arizona who had folks over 50 track their water intake for a month, aiming for about 2 liters a day. Those people felt less sore after yard work, could stand longer without aches, even had more energy for evening walks. It's not about drowning yourself, just sipping steadily. I keep a glass jug on my counter, fill it every morning, and make it a game to finish it by dinner. Sometimes I toss in a mint leaf for fun. You can do it your way, maybe a bottle in your car or a tumbler by your knitting basket. You might find you're not as creaky when you get up from reading the paper, or your legs feel lighter when you're chasing a ping pong ball across the rec room. Sleep's another one that sneaks up on you. It's not just about feeling perky. It's when your muscles do their repair work. I saw a study from the University of California where they looked at people over 50 who aimed for 7 hours of sleep a night. Those folks had stronger legs, better endurance, even less stiffness than the ones who stayed up past midnight. It's like your body's running a night shift to keep you going. I started turning off my TV an hour earlier, swapping it for a few pages of a spy novel. Now I wake up feeling like I could chop wood. Well, maybe stack it at least. Try this. Pick a bedtime and stick to it for a week. Maybe it's listening to soft jazz or sipping herbal tea before you hit the pillow. You might notice you're not dragging as much when you're setting up for a garage sale, or you've got more zip for a morning bike ride. Stretching's still in the mix, because it's like WD-40 for your body. Tight muscles are grumpy muscles. They tire out and make everything harder. Researchers at the University of Minnesota found that just 5 minutes of stretching a day, reaching up, bending down, twisting side to side, can make your arms and legs feel younger. I do this every morning while my coffee drips. Stand tall, stretch my arms like I'm hugging the sky, then lean forward to graze my toes. It's quick, but it's like unlocking a door. Everything moves easier after. You can try it anywhere. Stretch your calves while you're waiting for the microwave, or roll your shoulders while you're on hold with the cable company. You might find it's easier to climb into your truck or reach for a high shelf at the store. And don't forget to move for fun. That's the one that sticks, because it doesn't feel like work. Maybe it's dancing to Motown while you cook dinner, or kicking a ball with your grandkids in the driveway. A study from the University of Georgia showed that people over 50 who did active things they loved, like gardening or playing bocce, built stronger muscles and kept at it longer than those who forced themselves to jog. I started taking my old bike out for a spin to the ice cream shop down the road. It's not the Tour de France, but it makes me smile and my legs thank me. Pick something that lights you up. Maybe it's raking leaves to your favorite playlist or walking to a friend's house for coffee. Do it a couple of times this week. You might find you're stronger when you're lugging a ladder to hang Christmas lights, or you're laughing more when you're out with your family. Let's circle back to those folks we talked about. Mike's back in his garage, wrenching on that Chevy like it's 1995. He started with walks to the corner, added some canned beans to his dinners, did a few squats while his coffee brewed. Diane's out with her retriever, watching those Arizona sunsets again. She stretches every morning and keeps a water bottle in her bag. Gloria's hauling books at the library, no aches in sight, thanks to protein-packed snacks, and standing up from her chair 10 times a night. Ray's still climbing porches, delivering mail with a grin, all because he sleeps better and moves with purpose. They're not different from you. They felt that same wobble, that same doubt. But they found a way to rebuild, with steps so small they barely noticed at first. A sip of water, a stretch, a walk to the mailbox. It's like knitting a sweater, one stitch at a time, and suddenly you've got something warm and strong, That's what I want for you. Picture yourself a month from now, feeling lighter when you carry that dog food, prouder when you keep up with your grandkid. That's not just possible, it's yours for the taking. So here's my nudge. Try one thing today. Maybe it's walking to your car like you're strutting on a stage, or grabbing a yogurt for a snack. It's not about changing everything. It's about giving your body a little high five, a reminder that it's still got plenty to give. Because you're not done, not by a mile. Think about Mike, turning that tire, or Diane, strolling with her dog. Their strength came back, and yours can too. Imagine it's a sunny afternoon a few weeks from now. You're out in your yard, maybe hosing down your car or setting up a picnic table for a family dinner. You move easier, feel stronger, like you've got a little more spark. That's what happens when you take these steps. Your muscles are waiting, ready to show up for you again. So go for it. Take that walk, eat that egg, stretch for the stars. You've got a lot of life left, and it's going to feel so good to live it.